Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we are going to take a look at all of Season 3 for Batman Gotham City Chronicles. We've got the City in Flames expansion, which is the main big box expansion, probably the biggest expansion they've come out with to date. We also have the solo cooperative mode, the stretch goals, the Narrows Chronicles Volume 2, some two extra miniatures from the stretch goals, as well as the Bat files, which are on the bottom here. Those are revamped rule books, as well as additional player aids, stuff that they've made to hopefully make the game easier to play and get into. So let's start with this big boy first. City in Flames is introducing more miniatures, more heroes, more villains, but it's also entering the campaign mode for Gotham City Chronicles. Up till now, everything was just a one-off scenario, but now we're going to have campaign stuff, which is why we have mystery boxes. So you can see here right up front, right at the beginning, are some mystery boxes. My guess is that the campaign has something to do with the Riddler, maybe. Obviously, we are not going to open these. It does give you an idea of what's in there. So we are talking about some plastic here. Mystery box A and B. And we're just going to put those off to the side and forget about them. So we have some more little counters here. These are purple, which are different from the standard red ones we have. We have some additional equipment. So hibernaculum, I don't even know what that is. Expandable baton, short battle sword, another one of those, twin swords, and a tonfa. Oh, and some more batarangs. Can never have enough batarangs. All right, it's kind of wedged in there. Not sure what this is. Special event. So these are probably events that trigger throughout the campaign. It looks like they're either double-sided with French on the backside. I may not open those for spoiler reasons. These are going to be the new heroes that we have. So we've got a new Batman. This is Jace Fox Batman. We'll see his miniature here in a little bit. We have Red Hood Outlaws. So this is at least the second Red Hood I know of. Ghostmaker and Batgirl. Crazy, super buff Batgirl. Scary Batgirl. All right. Now we've got some cardboard trays here. See what these are about. These probably have something to do with the campaign. So Bat Gadget cards, equipment cards, clue panel, technology panel. There's all these cutouts here. Not sure what those are for. On the back side, everything is just in French. A dual layered tracker. Maybe this is where your purple cubes go. Some footprints, some gears, victory points, can't really. And here we even have more victory points, champagne bottle, points de victory. So again, I'm guessing all of this, it would be the same thing that French person, yeah. So the back side of this is in French. Vicious plan, trained to lead, adrenaline shot, jack of all trades. So maybe this is skills that you can unlock with vicious plans, or whatever type of victory points those are. Another poster. This one's, so this one is thicker, but it's creased right down the middle. So take that for what you will. Kind of a bummer. All right, we've got some books. see what books we have here. We have Gotham City in Flames and Gotham City in Flames. One of these is a lot thicker. So this must be the mission booklet. Mission rules, cubes, tells you everything you need. Equipment and Bat Gadget cards versus power cards. Interesting, so that's how that fits in. That's what those little notches are for. Okay. Campaign rules. Campaign board. Okay. So I'm trying to see, all right, here's the missions. So we're not going to go much further than this. But this is essentially the first mission, which you guys can see, the penguin. I'm wondering if this other booklet is just stuff in French. Yes, and this is your booklet in French. This isn't as thick as the other one, so I'm wondering what they're missing here. But well, maybe they are the same thickness. So if there's anybody out there, any French-speaking subscribers out there, if you want a French copy of the booklet, let me know, because I have zero use for that. All right, then we have another nice, whatever you want to call this, cardboard box on the interior. Wonder if I can get this open without pulling the whole thing out. Not really. But before we jump to the miniatures, let's take a look at what else is underneath here. It appears to be the boards we have. So these are, I believe, boards that you're going to be placing together in some instances. Like this up here, there's no wall right here. This appears to be the warehouse. On the back side here is a long skinny board that looks pretty cool. This is like the Zeppelin that would fly through the air. So you can see here way the city down below. Typical. It actually feels like they've made some of these symbols a little bigger, more noticeable, but I still don't think it detracts from, obviously there's a certain way to fold these properly. Nope. Okay, we'll do that. That seems right. So then here's the other level of the Zeppelin. This is the fancier level. And then this is, oh yes, the yacht. The upper portion of the yacht. And I guess maybe the other one is like the docks, the lower part of the docks. So there's the two boards that come with this one, and it's going to utilize boards from the base game. You obviously need more than just this content to play through a campaign. So you're going to need stuff from the base game. I cannot get these out here. So let's actually tip these out and set this off to the side. All right. So here's our punch out tray. Some status tokens, tokens to track the health of these individuals. So we're going to see zombies, penguins, interesting, ninjas, man-bat commandos, Ghostmaker as a bad guy, Merlin, Punchline, Cheshire, and then here are our good guys, Batman, Batgirl, Ghostmaker. And obviously the back of these sides are going to be the kind of shattered ones that look really cool, but if you're seeing this side, that means they have been taken out from the game. All right. With that, let's take a look at our miniatures. So, we've got our 4 heroes down the bottom. We do have penguins with rockets attached to their backs. That's cool. So obviously there's going to be some penguin scenarios. We saw that, and penguin is going to come from the base box. Now we have essentially the stretch goals. So this is the standard stretch goals, and these are, I guess, the 2 characters depending on the pledge level that you backed. I guess if you only pledged for like the City in Flames expansion, you weren't going to get these guys. But this is Batman Who Laughs, and then we have Anarchy here. So everything in here is going to be character tile, life point token, versus power card. We don't have a versus power card for Batman Who Laughs last. What I've never figured out is what to do with these miniatures that just come in a spare box like this, because there's not a spot for them in any of the trays. So I guess I need to get one of those picking trays things. All right. We gotta cut these open. Guy out. So first we have Anarchy. Okay. And then the rest of his contents are his thing, and then a double-sided versus card. So once permission, the villain ends their turn immediately and starts a full turn again, recovering 2 fewer energy cubes. All right, so this is a special event with Anarchy. But there you go. So there's everything you need to play with him. Now we have Batman Who Laughs. Oh, just Batman Who Laughs. I don't know why I always think it says Batman Who Laughs last. Here's his card and his little tracker token. Putting these 2 singles away, then we have a smaller box full of miniatures. Again, not sure what to do with this small little box here. Let's pull these guys out, and then we can see, oh, here's some more stretch goal stuff. So we have our double-sided coin, which was one of the free gifts or whatever. So this is Two Faces coin. That's not bad. I mean, it's hefty. It's like very dark, you know, it's almost like a wash on this side, and then very clean on this side. But yeah, it's a solid, nice coin. Don't know when I'll ever use it, but that's fine. And so basically everything we need for these, we have Ace, right? Ace the Bat Hound, and Batman as Azrael. So from a different comic universe. Then we're gonna have the Drowned, Robin minions, and Calendar Man as miniatures to show off. All right, up next we have the Narrows Chronicles 2, A New Eden. So let's see what's in this one here. We got some stuff in some paper. So we've got Narrows Chronicles, A New Eden, and the French version. Again, French versions of everything here. So this expansion for Batman Gotham City Chronicles board game invites players from the heroes side to don the roles of supervillains. You can play this expansion with just the core box. However, you will have more recruitment options and replayability if you have the Suicide Squad and Arkham Asylum expansions and certain characters from the picking zone. Okay, so we have Arkham Asylum. I do not have the Suicide Squad box, and I wonder which ones from the picking zone are required. So campaign rules, supervillains, screens. I think that's supposed to be screens. I'm not sure if you guys can read that, but yeah. Typo. So yeah, let's take a look at. I'm guessing the supervillain screens are what are in here. I don't think this is spoilerish. So we're gonna open it up. I hope not. No. Okay, so this will probably give you a pretty good idea of who you would need. So Poison Ivy, I'm pretty sure it was from the picking zone. Poison Ivy, New 52, New Eden, Clayface, okay. Solomon Grundy, Dr. Death, he's a base box. Amygdala, the Joker Clayface, okay. Harley Quinn, Suicide Squad, Red Hood, okay. Killer Croc. So I believe it's telling you where these, or maybe not, where these guys are coming from. Orphan, Ra's al Ghul, Jason Todd, Nobody, Catwoman, Batman Hush, The Beast, Mr. Freeze, New 52, Talon, Uriah Boone, and the Ratcatcher. So that's cool. Yeah, essentially the only other way to play as the villains is either play as the villain in, you know, a competitive game or play in versus mode, but you're still just using the tiles. So this is cool that this gives you a way to play as the bad guys. Up next, we have the solo and cooperative expansion or module. I don't know what you would call this. I don't know if, you know, down the road they ever have plans of including this in the core box, but this is a pretty heavy box here. I have read through the rule book. It's interesting that they didn't make this a bigger size, but maybe they realized this is the size box they could fit it in, so they shrunk down the rule book to match. But it, you know, there appears to be a lot of pages here, but it's really not that bad. Part of it is because the rule book's so small. And then they have taken just about every single scenario to date here and put in the modifications. You still are going to need the main mission booklet, but this one is saying, all right, hey, this is how the AI controls their characters in these particular missions. So, not bad. And of course, we have a French version. Here you go. Again, if you speak French and you want these copies, let me know. So some specific tokens here. And then a whole lot of cards, again, all of which appear to be in English and French. So there's a die. I know that die is going to come up when you are rolling, say, ones like this. So that's the French version. I'm going to set that one aside. But here is Amygdala, for example. So let's get into these here real quick so we can take a closer look. I actually played and have a video on my channel of me going through how to utilize the fan-made variant that this actual expansion is based on. So I think that's really cool that they went and, you know, somebody who put it out there free to play on BGG, and they realized how awesome it was, they went and used them and worked with them and got this out there. So yeah, essentially this box is twice as heavy as it needs to be because there's twice as much content that I don't need. Anyways, for every scenario, there's going to be a certain number of cards. They'll tell you the numbers that you need to add in. Some of them will just be kind of scenario generic, and other ones will be specific to the villains, the super villains that are in the actual scenario. So here you can see Arnold Wesker, the ventriloquist, versus Amygdala. These guys essentially have the same card, but when they activate, they are going to roll this die, and that's going to choose, since there's so much stuff on the villains card that they have the ability to do, maybe not Amygdala here, but like the ventriloquist has 6 different things that he can do, and even his special thing is going to depend on the scenario specifics. Otherwise, this other side of the card here is what the standard cards will look like. So you'll have all these shuffled up, and you'll flip one over when it's the villain's turn. This one would say, all right, well, it wants you to do the first card in the river, and then it wants you to do the first card in the river again, because you're going to activate that one, you're going to move it to the end of the river, slide everything down. And so this is essentially doing the 2 cheapest options for the villain, spending the least amount of cubes to activate. And then down here, it tells you like the priority of what kind of attack that character is going to want to do. This is a melee. And then it tells you, you know, these symbols tell you how do they want to activate, and can they do this? Yes, they do that. If not, then let's move down. Can they do this type of activation? Nope, then they do this type of activation. And I'm pretty sure this bottom one is always just move towards the closest hero that you can do something with. So very simple, very straightforward. I think, you know, all of the work was done beforehand by the people who put this expansion together. This is where all the work comes in, right here, of coming up with all the special rules for each different scenario. But as far as, you know, game to game running the AI, this is super simple and super straightforward. So I'm very excited to get this to the table. There will definitely be some more content just on this little expansion here very soon on the channel. That's it. That's all that's in here. So we're going to throw this stuff back in there. We're going to keep the French stuff out. Again, not quite sure what I'm going to do with all this French material. All right, and then last but not least, we have the Bat files, or Batcomputer files. These are nothing special. There's no plastic in here, but a lot of people, including myself, are going to be very excited about what is in this skinny little box here. So we have a revised rule book. The rules necessarily did not change that much, but it's been rewritten by Paul Grogan and his team, who, you know, rewritten, reorganized, so flows better, makes more sense. So we'll definitely probably give this a reread just to refresh. It's been a hot minute since I have played some Gotham City Chronicles. So we'll probably give this a read. Hopefully this will help, especially new players, get into the game better. And then we have the mission booklet here, which again is revamped based on just advice from Paul Grogan and his team, and also any edits. So this was not something that you necessarily had to have, but you know, so this was an add-on. It came as part of my bundle from everything that came out in Season 3, but this is essentially Mission Booklet 2.0 and Rulebook 2.0. Now we're getting into the stuff that has never existed before and is very exciting. So this is a skills and traits book. You know, this covers all of the symbology in its own separate little book, so you don't have to flip to the end of the rule book. It's not on the back page of the rule book or anything like that. But this is everything, broken down by kind of type. So this is all the movement abilities. This is all the melee attack abilities, all the ranged attack abilities, all the attack modifiers, all the defense. So this is just one of those books that you always kind of want to have sitting out nearby. On top of that, however, are these two things, and I don't think it's necessary for me to bust these out here. Actually, I do want to see if they're double-sided or if it's French on one side. So let's bust open into. These are individual skill cards. So this is everything that was in that book we just looked at, but this is just the stuff that is specific to your character. So if you are playing with Batman and you have, especially someone who is unfamiliar with, say, Batman, you would just give them Batman's card here. So I'm just curious as to what's on the back side. Nope, two different people. That's interesting. I guess so. If you had somebody playing as Batman and Black Canary, they just share a card. This isn't the end of the world, honestly. This saves a lot of space in your storage solutions, so I'm perfectly okay with this. But I love the fact that you can just be like, oh, you're playing as Batman? Here you go. Here's your card. This is all the symbols and all the traits. So technically you shouldn't need this, but you know, if something pops up and that book is there, otherwise you have the blue ones for the heroes and the white ones for the villains. Magnificent. And if that wasn't enough, oh, everything's here in plastic. What you see here is a general player aid. So they've got all the skills covered. But then they gave us player aids as well. Everything's just spilling out of here. So let's take a look here. Player aid for the villain, player aid for the heroes. This is nice. It's like, you know, cardstock, glossy cardstock, but this just covers everything. Again, this is all stuff that we have never had yet, or have not ever had yet. And then last but not least are these here. Okay, so this is a skills and reference sheet, probably for the villain player. Just so you don't have to have a bunch of little cards out. But then the rest of these. So I spoke about this in my initial videos. One of my initial videos. I have several videos covering this game, but talked about how beautiful the boards are, and there's a ton of information on them, but it still doesn't make it easy to read, especially for the novice. And they're still having you scan this for lines of sight, but at least you just QR code that with your phone and you can instantly see it, where it used to be you had to go to the website, find the map you were playing, and then look it up. So this should take you directly to this map with the lines of sight drawn, but this here tells you, oh, you know, how what's our level here, where are the doors, where are we falling down from, all that stuff. So this was never something that was included in the game. And so, oh, we're playing the subway map tile. You get this one out, you throw it down on the table, and everybody can take a look at it. So it appears here that so far we have, you know, I don't know how many there are, but 8 to 10 sheets here. I don't know exactly how many boards there are, but here's, you know, like the newest ones, the docks and the Zeppelin, GCPD offices, and the sewers. So just these are all, this is nothing that's going to knock your socks off, but if you have never played before, you're going to be so appreciative of everything that's in this Bat tablet section. So this is kind of a no-brainer purchase in my opinion. Whether you're a veteran to the game or new to the game, you should pick up this just package of stuff. All right, well, that's going to do it for our unboxing of Season 3 of Batman Gotham City Chronicles. Hopefully, you know, this video is worth it for you guys. If you enjoyed it, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section below. I'll do my best to answer them. And yes, we will have some content, especially on the solo co-op mode, coming very soon on the channel. So keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Have a great day.